Welcome back, Pokemon Trainers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back order, and I hope you all had a very wonderful Pokemon Day this past weekend. Yes, this past Saturday, February 27th, was the big day, Pokemon Day, in honor of the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. And on the big day came a lot of really cool announcements, which I'll get into later. You probably already heard them, but I'll give you my take on them, I suppose. And I didn't do too much myself on Pokemon Day. I actually watched a lot of the Twitch TV stream for Pokemon Day, featuring Shady Penguin and Jay Witz, and two other people I'm not familiar with, but they all loved Pokemon, and they were playing games and talking about all the nostalgia and all this awesome, all this crazy stuff. I also did stop out to Toys R Us. And for one thing, I did pick up the special Toys R Us Pikachu. I'm hoping this will focus, but it might not. But hopefully you can see it there. That is a giveaway for Pokemon Day. And in honor of breaking 500 subscribers this past week, which I'm really excited about, that's really awesome. Thank you everybody for subscribing. In honor of that, I did pick up another little thing, as I promised, a special unboxing of the first of the TCG Generations collection. This is one of the mythical Pokemon collections, Mew. As you can see here, you get a Mew card, a Mew pin. Well, I'll go over everything when I do the unboxing at the end of the video. Now, as I always do, each of the code cards in this box is going to go out to one lucky viewer who participates in the question of the day this week. And I don't have the question yet, but when I do open this at the end of the video, I will give you a question of the day to answer. All you need to do is answer that question of the day, use hashtag QOTD in your comment, and you'll go into the running for one of these code cards. It's going to be random draw. You might get one of the code cards from the TCG pack inside, but you might also get the special code card for the Mew itself. Now, that's in honor of 500 subscribers. What I want to do is, well, I'll let you know, like, my basic idea for the next landmark I'm going to hit is 1,000, if and when I hit 1,000 subscribers. What I would like to do is pick up something like this again, do an unboxing, give out the code cards, but I would actually like to pick up a second copy of whatever I'm going to unbox and actually mail out that copy to somebody who responds to the question of the day. So, if you're interested in something like that, I don't want to be like, subscribe to my channel, I can get more views and stuff, but if you do subscribe, once I do break 1,000, that is my next goal. I do want to send out an actual pack to somebody else, like a collection box. So I'm just going to grab my notes, make sure I keep everything on track here. And so this week, the schedule for the channel is going to be a little bit different, and for the most part it's going to be the same, but things are going to be a little mixed up because this week is not going to be an Omega Ruby rotation battle in the Wi-Fi battles. It's actually going to be the Kanto Classic Online Competition this weekend. So, since the competition doesn't begin until Friday, obviously I can't have the battles uploaded for Thursday because I wouldn't have had them yet. So this week, today is the news update. Tomorrow will be the TCG Online match. Wednesday through Friday, however, is going to be, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be the 3 episodes of Pokemon Blue playthrough. So I've got those planned out. What I'm going to do is I've got my team planned for the Kanto Classic. I will record the team builder to have uploaded for Saturday, and I'm probably going to record battles on Friday for the Kanto Classic, get a few of those matches recorded, and those will be uploaded on Sunday. So that is the schedule for the channel coming up. So we got TCG, 3 episodes of Blue, and Team Builder, and then the Omega Ruby, the Omega Ruby Kanto Classic battles. That's going to be up until Sunday. Now, in other news of the world of Pokemon, first I'll mention in Pokemon Shuffle, which I realized later after uploading the news last week, I forgot to mention anything about Shuffle. But I went in and I checked out the information. Currently there are 3 special stages. Actually, that's a lie. There's a couple other stages, but they actually end tomorrow. So I figured just to trim the news down, I'll just let you know the ones that you're going to have a longer time to actually participate in. The stages that are ending are actually Beedrill and Beedrill for sure. Now anyway, in the special stages right now, up until March 8th, they actually have 2 special stages that you can battle Gyarados and Mew. Now, there's some confusion. I was looking at the Mew information on Shuffle. The title says it ends on the 5th of March, but the information inside says it ends on the 8th. Might be a typo, I really don't know, but possibly, at least until the 5th, possibly till the 8th, you'll be able to encounter Mew, and I think it's in honor of a certain number of Pokemon Shuffle downloads being downloaded. And Gyarados is there available until March 8th. I tried battling Gyarados. I've already caught Mew from a previous thing, and Gyarados is tough. So make sure you bring some really high-level Pokemon, bring some electric or grass types, because it is a water type in the game, and do your best to try to catch Gyarados. You have about a little over a week left to do that. Now, the other special stage mention is there is another online competition available right now for Mega Charizard X. Now, usually a regular online competition, you have a time limit, and I think it's a minute. to go into the stage and you get to battle Mega Charizard X. Try to get as high of a score as you possibly can, and that's going to enter you into the leaderboards online. And you get certain rewards and prizes based on how high in the ranking that you place in the leaderboard. So just by participating, you will gain an attack power-up item at no charge that you can then use in another stage in Pokemon Shuffle to get some more damage off. But if you do participate and you rank above the 26,000 point, or 26,000 mark, you'll gain a second attack power-up item, so you get 2 of those. If you rank at the 19,000 mark or higher, you will actually obtain the Charizardite X, and in addition to the single attack power-up for participating. Now, if you actually rank 3,700 up until rank number 1, you will gain the Charizardite X as well as a Mega Speedup item as well, to be able to Mega Evolve your Charizard even faster. So I don't know exactly when that competition ends. I think it's also on March 8th, but I kind of forgot to get that information. But regardless, you can go in there and just try, like, go in today and try and set as high a score as you can if you want to play Shuffle. Now, there's a lot of mentions to make from the world of the video game. You've probably already heard a lot of it. I'm sure everyone in the Pokemon community is buzzing about some of these big announcements. But before we get to the bigger ones, I'm going to mention a few other smaller ones along the way. And I say smaller with two air quotes. Anyway, you get the idea. First of all, now the Mew distribution from GameStop and other game stores throughout the world has ended. It ended on the 24th of February, but starting tomorrow on March 1st is when the next mythical Pokemon will be available, and it's going to be Celebi. Hailing from the Gold and Silver games originally, Celebi is going to be available, and instead of going and picking up a code card from somewhere, Celebi is going to be a little bit easier for you to get. It's actually just a download through the Nintendo Network. And all you need to do is go into your Pokemon, I think it's XY, Omega Ruby, or Alpha Sapphire, go to your mystery gift on the main screen and choose to get a mystery gift via the internet. And you're going to be able to download Celebi right from your own home. And it also comes at level 100, and I don't remember what moves it has, but you can go onto Pokemon.com/20, and it shows you all the information for Celebi, what moves it has, as well as letting you know the other Pokemon coming up as distributions every other month of this year. And I really like the way they did this. It seems like they've had this whole Pokemon 20 thing planned out for quite a while. Every month we're having a new mythical distribution, and it's all leading into something else that I'll mention in just a moment. Now, first of all, before we get to that, I will say that Red, Blue, and Yellow, the original Pokemon games from the old Game Boy system, are now available in the Virtual Console, or for the Virtual Console, in the Nintendo eShop. So if you've never played Gen 1 before, you can go and get these games and experience the first ever introduction of Pokemon into the world. Things are so much different as I'm remembering as I'm doing the Pokemon Blue playthrough, and there's a lot of nostalgia factor there. Maybe not for anyone that hasn't played it yet, but it's really cool to go back and see where things started from, you know? So they are available, as well as a special new Nintendo 3DS bundle. Now what you can get with this is, it's a special, 3DS. It comes with the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue pre-installed in the systems. You also get faceplates for the DS system, as well as a special home screen theme featuring Pokemon. So you can get that if you want to pick up these Pokemon games, and you'll have Red and Blue installed. You can then also purchase and download Yellow, so you have the entire collection in your system. Now, this is the big news. The next generation of Pokemon games has been announced. And what I want to do at some point as the channel gets bigger, I want to do reaction videos the moment this kind of news happens, but since I have sort of a pattern right now, and since it's kind of a laid-back channel here, you know, I wait till the news day to do some big announcements and stuff, but Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon, they have been announced. Now, over this past weekend, yeah, like leading into the weekend, there were some like leaks happening online, and somebody had leaked the information that Pokemon had filed for trademarks for Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. And everyone's like all hyped up thinking, this is the next generation, this is it, this is where everything's leading to. And I was like, it's not confirmed, you know. It's just the names, doesn't mean anything's really going to happen at this point yet. Because like, there was also talk about Pokemon Z hasn't even come out yet, and there's all these things that could happen that isn't happening. But in the Pokemon Direct that happened on Friday, I think Friday, they actually did make the big announcement that Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon is coming out. I'm pretty sure they haven't really clearly specified it, but I'm fairly certain it is going to be the 7th generation in the world of Pokemon, and is scheduled to release in the holiday season of 2016, so this year. Now, as I said, I like the way it works that they've sort of been giving mythical Pokemon every month of this year. They're going to be doing it right up until Meloetta is the final one in December, and I think December 31st is the day that Sun and Moon are supposed to officially go out on sale. I imagine they're probably going to want to push it ahead for Christmas. You know, we'll see what happens, right? But anyway, so the final mythical distribution is December, following with the release of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Now, nothing's really been announced big time about this. They've shown some screenshots in the Pokemon Direct footage, and they also showed the video on the Twitch TV stream as well on Saturday for Pokemon Day. And there's only a few things that we know so far, and a lot of speculation and assumptions and stuff that can come from that. But as more information is announced, maybe that's when I'll start doing some like daily reaction videos and get the information out as soon as I can. Regardless, it's going to be pretty cool. They've also announced that as since the Game Boy Advance days, they've been able to have you load your Pokemon from previous generations into the next one that comes up, and Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon will be no different in that you can actually send your Pokemon from X, Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire to the online Pokemon Bank. By the way, if you don't have Pokemon Bank, get it. It's really good. You can store so many Pokemon there. But anyway, you can send them up to Pokemon Bank, and then you will be able to download them into Sun and Moon, which means the adventures of Shelbert and my original Kanto Pokemon will continue, along with the other Pokemon I've collected along the way. Now, that's a pretty cool announcement, and it's kind of something I expected would happen, because they have the technology to keep advancing Pokemon through the generations, so why would they not do it, right? But a really cool announcement is, if you do pick up Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, or Pokemon Yellow on the Virtual Console, you're actually going to be able to upload Pokemon from the Gen 1 games to Pokemon Bank, which you can then download to Sun and Moon. Now, you can't actually upload them to the bank and download them to X and Y or Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, but when Sun and Moon does drop, they are going to be able to send your Pokemon from the old Gen 1 games to the current games, which I think is really cool. In a way, it's not as big of an announcement for me because, I don't want to say it's not a big announcement, but ever since the Game Boy Advance days, as I've mentioned in the channel, I've had so many Pokemon I've been training and taking through like the Hoenn region, and I brought them to Fire Red through the Kanto region, and I've collected all these ribbons along the way, and it highlights all the generations that they've been through. Like, for example, the Colosseum the Colosseum games, where you can get like the Earth ribbon, and I think that might have been the only ribbon you can get from Colosseum. There was also the, what was it called? There was like a ribbon for purifying a Shadow Pokemon, which of course none of my main Pokemon have because they were never Shadow Pokemon, but there's like, I've been able to commemorate all the games that my guys have been through. Now, without, if you're going to send your Pokemon from the Red, Blue, and Yellow games into Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, that's like 5 generations of ribbons that they will miss out on. Not that that's a big deal for some people, because ribbons are like they're a little neat commemorative thing that you can just, get for your Pokemon. If you're just interested in the battling, then that's, all well and good. Just send your Pokemon right up to Sun and Moon. For me, I'm kind of cool with having taken the, these long steps along the way through the world of Pokemon with every new generation, and I just, I think it's fun the way I did it, but I also think it is a really cool thing that they have figured out how to work the technology to get the Gen 1 Pokemon data uploaded into the new Sun and Moon data. Because I don't know a lot about this, but, looking into it, the data for the Pokemon in the first games was a lot different, because, like, currently, I'm sure you're aware that Pokemon have like, what is it called? IVs, like individual values or something like that, where once they're created, like if they're caught in the wild or they're hatched from an egg, their stats are all sort of set from somewhere from 1 to 31, and the higher the number, the stronger that stat becomes. From what I understand, in Gen 1, the values were different, and there wasn't, I think it was like from 1 to 16, and there was just so much different stuff. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. It's just cool to take the older Pokemon into the newer game. Now, was there something else I needed to mention? I always throw this stuff away. Nope. I mentioned Pokemon Bank, and that was what I was going to mention. So, with all that being said, I am going to, in a moment, get into opening the Mythical Pokemon collection of Mew. But before I do, I want to give you the question of the day, and instead of switching the camera around first, I actually want to mention the question right now because I want to talk a little bit about my actual answer to that. So, the question of the day: what is your fondest or strongest memory from the world of Pokemon? And I was trying to think, I was watching a lot of the Twitch stream and trying to remember all the things that have happened. I was trying to think of my own strongest memory or the most fondest memory, and there are quite a lot, and I can't really pick out one above the others. I remember one time late at night I was playing in Diamond and Pearl was my copy of the game, and I was battling the battle tower, and when you get to the end of the battle tower, you fight a really impressive opponent called the Tower Tycoon. Now, I had tried several times. The battle tower had destroyed my team so many times. I think every once in a while I would actually make it to the Tower Tycoon, but he has, what is it, Milotic, Dragonite, and I don't even remember what else he had, but he has such powerful Pokemon, and I would just get destroyed. So one of my most fondest memories is one day late at night, I was just going through just to build up some battle points to get some more special move tutor moves and stuff. And I don't remember the full team that I used, but I did use Sprout, my Venusaur, and he was the one that landed the final hit on the opponent, and we defeated the Tower Tycoon, and that was my first time ever winning in the battle tower and getting those special ribbons for that. In fact, this might have actually been in Fire Red, now that I think about it, or Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Either way, one of those, it was such a big accomplishment, and like knowing the world of Pokemon and how competitive it can be. Like, people will breed for perfect stats of a Pokemon and super train and stuff. Like, this is before super training existed too. They would special, like, EV train in the wild. And my guys, I never got that focused on that. I was just like, these are the guys that I like, I've caught, I've raised them up along the way, and I want them to have a shot at winning. And if they can't, no big deal. But that victory told me that even the non-perfect Pokemon have a chance to win some battles. And that's always carried with me, and even into the Wi-Fi battles that I put on the channel. Because like, these are the Pokemon that are not purebred for battle. They're, my friends, basically. And they actually are doing pretty good in some of these battles, as long as I, as a trainer, know how to control them properly, and when to switch, and what moves to go for and stuff. So, that's a really good memory. I'm trying to think of some more cool memories. Like, well, watching the Twitch stream where Jay Witch was actually playing Pokemon Red, and he's hunting in the bushes in Viridian Forest for a Pikachu. He eventually gives up because he leveled up and then he had to go fight Brock. But I remember the first time I played through Pokemon Blue, and kind of spoilers for the playthrough, so if you don't want to see spoilers or hear spoilers, skip this next couple minutes or so. But I actually did go to hunt down a Pikachu in Viridian Forest, and it took me an hour to find that Pikachu. No kidding, no exaggeration. Like, I timed it out, a full hour of hunting through the grass. So many Caterpie, Metapod, Weedle, Kakuna. They kept showing up, I just kept running from them. Finally, after an hour, a Pikachu appeared, and I think it's a 5% chance of Pikachu in the forest. So, that was such a monumentous moment, and I was like, it's level 3. My guys are like level 20 something. I can't even touch this to weaken it. But I did have Butterfree Critter. He had Sleep Powder. So I think Shelbert was in the lead, so I pulled him back and sent in Critter. He took a Thunder Shock, and before even trying Sleep Powder, I thought, I'm just going to throw a Pokeball. So I threw the Pokeball. 1, 2, 3, ping! I actually caught the Pikachu on the first ball out without even touching it. And that always stuck with me pretty good. And as I mentioned in, again, spoilers for the playthrough, but in the, I think the very next, or the 2 episodes of Pokemon Blue coming up, might be the 3rd, I'm just getting all mixed up. Regardless, when I battled Lieutenant Surge, I knew along the way that I wanted to get a Ground-type Pokemon because they are, based on the type chart that I saw in Nintendo Power, Ground-type were really resistant to Electric. So I brought Rocky the Sandshrew as a Ground-type, and when I sent him into battle against Raichu, Lieutenant Surge's ace Pokemon, it said, Raichu used Thunderbolt, and I was actually kind of wincing back with the Game Boy thinking, oh, how much is this going to hurt? And then it said, it doesn't affect Rocky, and that blew my mind. I was like, he's completely immune to Electric! See, I didn't know that at the time, and that was the revelation, and that was such a big, monumentous moment, and I'll always remember that moment as well. So there's so many cool memories along the way. So, just to recap the question, because I've rambled, what is your fondest or strongest memory from the world of Pokemon? So again, leave that response with the hashtag QOTD down in the comments, and you'll go into the running for one of these code cards that I'm about to open up as I switch the camera around and pop this box open. Without any further ado, let's get right into that right now. So here we are, folks. This is the first of the Mythical Pokemon collections this year featuring Mew. As you can see, we have the special foil Mew card, a couple of TCG Generations packs, and a little pin up here featuring the Mythical Pokemon itself. So I'm going to read the back here. Now Mew is at your command. Rare and mysterious, mythical Pokemon arrive when they choose, and disappear just as quickly. Step forward into a new level of play with the Pokemon TCG Mythical Pokemon Collection, Mew. So in this collection, we do have a never-before-seen foil promo card featuring Mew, a Mew Collector's Pin, 2 special TCG Generations packs, and a code card for the online Pokemon TCG game. So we are going to open this up right now. And how do we get to it? So I'm just going to tear open the side. This should be easier to open than theme decks at least. So as I say, you will go into the running for one of the code cards by answering that question of the day. And the first, if I can actually open this, one moment. There we go. Boy, these Pokemon really are hard to get. So, tearing this side open, bear with me folks. Alright, so, first of all, what is this? Celebrate 20 years of Pokemon. Okay, a little checkbox for, or a little checklist where you can mark off the Pokemon that you've gotten. And look what's coming up at some point here. Charizard EX, Blastoise EX, Venusaur EX, Pikachu EX, Red and Blue collections. This is actually what I want to look forward to, hopefully getting for a giveaway if I hit 1,000 subscribers. Because I've seen pictures of these. I'm pretty sure these ones come with 4 booster packs of the TCG generations, whereas the Mythical ones only have the 2 here, right? So, this is something I'm looking forward to. I want to try to get one of each of these, at least for nothing else than to add to my collection. And there's a fancy looking picture right there. This is actually the picture you can see on Pokemon.com for all the Mythical Pokemon. And yeah, they're letting you know every month you're going to be able to get a new Mythical Pokemon on either of these games. Visit Pokemon.com/20 for more details. That's a nice little insert there. I love the logo too. Like, I don't know if anyone's, I'm sure everyone's mentioned it, but it shows all the starter Pokemon in the shape of the Pikachu head, with the 2-0 for the cheeks. Alright, so with all that out of the way, let us open this up. And first, we'll get the Mew code card. So this is going to go off to the side until this Sunday, what is it, March 5th, I believe it is? I'm not sure anyway. This Sunday, coming up, this is the first code card. It is the Mew itself. And we will take a look at this Mew right now. Carefully pop it out. As we see here, it is very fancy, and it's not an EX, so you won't lose 2 prizes if someone knocks it out. 70 HP, Psychic type, and Clairvoyance for a colorless says, your opponent reveals his or her hand. For a Psychic and 2 colorless, Psychic does 40, and does 10 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Alright, not too bad. Actually, it's interesting. This Mew, just to show how cards have changed over the years, this Mew has more HP than the base set Mewtwo. That only had 60. I always think that's crazy. Alright, so I'll put you back there, Mew. And let's take a look at the cool pin. There we go. Mew with the big old tail on there. Come on, camera. Focus. Focus on the Mew. This is the legendary Pokemon. There we go. Nice and focused. Look at that cute little Pokemon. Oh, I dropped it. Alright, we'll set you back here. I'm too rough with you. Now, we're going to open up these 2 packs. I think let's start with, well, the first Pokemon in the Pokedex. Technically, that's Bulbasaur, but the evolution of the first Pokemon. And focus the camera again. Alright, so the Generations pack is opening. Now, again, the question of the day is, what is your fondest or strongest memory from the world of Pokemon? Leave that answer with hashtag QOTD. Look at this, it's got a little Pikachu 20 on there too. But leave your answer to that question with a hashtag QOTD in the comments, and you'll go into the running for one of these code cards. It's on the bottom now. Is there a code card in this? Does this not include a code card? I guess possibly the only code card is going to be this. That's interesting. I wonder if the Charizard will have one. But anyway, let's see if this works in the same way. You know what? I think there's a special sort of Radiant collection in this set, so I don't know the exact format of these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... No, there's only 10. So, I'll try my usual format. Like this, okay. So, if that worked out, these should be the common cards. Starting with, well, it's not common. It's a reverse foil or red card. We have a Ponyta, a Rhyhorn, Meowth. So a lot of the cards in this set you might notice are from previous sets, but I think there's a few like newer ones that I put in here as well. We have a Caterpie with the Adaptive Evolution ability. You can evolve it on the very turn it comes into play. Now, I think another common, Mr. Mime, so that's uncommon. Bench Barrier is always a good ability. Prevent damage being done to your own bench Pokemon. Here we have a Team Flare Grunt, discarding an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. We have a Floral Crown. At the end of your opponent's turn, heal 20 damage from the basic Pokemon this card is attached to. That's not bad, it heals 20 every single turn. And we have Yveltal, that is an uncommon, this is from the Radiant collection. So it is a new art reprint of the X and Y base set Yveltal, it looks like. Oblivion Wing and Darkness Blade. Now, the final card, I think this should be the rare, is going to be, well, that's not bad for the first pack, and it came out of the Venusaur pack. Interestingly enough, a new Mega Venusaur EX, everybody, with a Bloom Buster, which does 130. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Put a trick coin on this thing as soon as you can, everybody. So, a new Mega Venusaur has joined the game. Interestingly enough, I don't know if there's a Venusaur Spirit Link. Probably not. But if there ever is one, that'd be really cool to get that into play. Alright, so we got the Pokemon Charizard pack with TCG generations. So again, question of the day is, what is your strongest or fondest memory of the world of Pokemon? And hopefully there's going to be code card in this. I really thought there's supposed to be code cards in each of these packs, because otherwise, how do you get the generations packs online? But, alright, let's just tear into this here. And I do not see a code card. So, unfortunately, the only code card is going to be the Mew itself. This might actually unlock the packs online also, now that I think about it. In fact, I'm going to read it off screen here. Yeah, it says Mythical Pokemon Collection Mew on the back, so you might actually get 2 packs plus Mew using that code. So, hopefully that's how it works. Let's see what we get out of the Charizard Generations pack. So, Reverse Foil Snorlax with kind of a bad ability, Stir and Snooze. If this Pokemon is asleep, flip 2 coins instead of 1 between turns. If either of them is tails, this Pokemon is still asleep. We got some commons. We got Pikachu, which is the regular version of the Toys R Us Pikachu that I picked up. So with Nuzzle and Quick Attack. We've got a Geodude. We have a, ooh, cool, generation-specific Grass Energy. Nice. We have a Machop. Look at this. He's hurling this boulder at your face. But he's using a Knuckle Punch instead of Rock Throw. Anyways, we also have a Persian. Now the 2 uncommons, I think, will be... Sorry, 3 uncommons. We have another Mr. Mime. We've got a Snorunt. It made a Pikachu snowman. Look at that. And we have a Floette with... This is the Radiant Collection insert. We have Petal Blizzard and Razor Leaf. And the rare pack, or sorry, the rare card of this pack shall be a Tauros. Takedown does 30 and 10 to itself, and then Seething Anger. Flip a coin for each damage counter on this Pokemon, 30 damage for each heads. So that is actually pretty cool. Now, since there is just the one code card, I'm actually going to sort of up the stakes a little bit. I do happen to have 2 other packs that I can open today. I do have a Flash Fire, and we do have the Furious Fists. So as a little added bonus, because I want to add more to the giveaway, I'm going to open these packs as well. So again, the same question of the day is, what is your strongest or fondest memory from the world of Pokemon? And starting off, we're going to put the Flash Fire code to the side. And let's take a look at what comes out of this pack. So these are kind of old cards by this point, but they are still standard. We have Spheal, Pineco, Bergmite, Sandile, and Flabébé. Uncommon cards begin with a Metapod. That goes good with the Caterpie I just got. And we have a Graveler, Pokemon Fan Club. Find a couple of basic Pokemon out of your deck. Reverse foil card is a Shinx. And the rare card of Flash Fire shall be a Durant, a Metal type. So, chip off, discard cards from your opponent's hand at random until they have 4 left. And X-Scissor can do possibly 40 on a coin flip. Alright, so the final pack is a Furious Fists. I remember when this expansion came out, fighting types got such a massive boost in the TCG, just like Karina and Focus Sash and stuff. So, let's get this pack opened up and grab the code card. There we go. Off to the side. And take a quick look at what we get out of this pack today. We start with a Trapinch, a Pancham, Torchic, Clefairy, and a Pikachu. Next, with the uncommons, we start with a Jaw Fossil to get your Tyrunts into play. A Super Scoop Up. People use this a lot for the Golbat decks right now. We also have a Watchog. Reverse foil of the pack shall be a Cubchoo, Fury Swipes and Frost Breath attack. And the rare card of the Furious Fists shall be, a foil Noivern. This is actually the Noivern people like to Break Evolve into Noivern Break because of Boom Burst. You can do 30 damage to the entire opposing team, and this actually pairs well with the Gengar from Breakthrough, because Gengar can knock out anything that has 3 damage counters. So those are the pack openings today. we've got 3 code cards. We've got the Mew, a Flash Fire, and a Furious Fists. So again, one final reminder. The question of the day is, what is your fondest or strongest memory from the world of Pokemon? Leave your response with hashtag QOTD in the comment section. And this Sunday, which, again, I don't remember the date, but you go into the running for one of these code cards randomly selected. And hopefully the Mew one does come with those 2 generation packs online also. With all that being said, we are now done with the video. Let's take one final look at our new foil Mew card. And we're going to grab the Venusaur as well. So these are some pretty good cards. Of course, this is the kind of like a promo card, and this is the random pack card that I got. So we're going to end off the video. Thank you for checking out this video today, folks. And tomorrow, come on back to the channel for another Pokemon TCG online match featuring another Break evolution from Breakpoint. This time is going to be Golduck Break. Alright, thank you for checking out this video, and I'll catch you next time.